Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, on this 10th of March in the year of 2025. How are you? Well, I tell you this, we are into the first couple of days of the month. As you say, I have a very, very special guest on. She's been on before. This whole month is Women's Month. With the only exception of next Monday, the 17th, a week from today, I will be the only male guest in the house. Other than that, it will be all the ladies, honoring the ladies for what they do. All right. I do want to thank everybody very, very much. Let me see what I got here. Okay. Here we go. All right. Thank you. So anyway, all this is an honors month. One of the first things I wanted to do was, first of all, talk about our sponsors just briefly. There's something going on right now here in Harlem at the Abyssinia Baptist Church. I just want to let you know that. But first of all, I want to thank our sponsor, Nicholas Brooklyn, celebrating over 50 years in business at 1396 Fulton Street. Also, I want to thank U-Juice. They have great products. Go to levitstore.com. That's LIVETSTORE, Levitt Store. .com to order your juices. They come in 3 flavors. They're all sugar-free, no GMOs, things of that nature. Is great. Also, a sponsor is Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly every Monday and Wednesday. Of course, she has Abundance Thursday too, and a couple other things. Also, our sponsor is Jazz Aphrodite. That's having a Cardology Institute that starts on Tuesday, March the 25th for 6 weeks. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. It's going to be informative and things of that nature. And before I start, I do want to acknowledge that today is Monday. I think I got everything right today. All right. Today is, yes, I did. Good. Today is Monday. It is March the 10th of 2025. The sun is in Pisces. The moon is in Leo. It's a 3 universal month, a 5 universal week, a 4 universal day. That is absolutely correct. So those under the signs of Aquarius and Leo and Gemini, or if you're born on the 1st, 4th, 10th, 13th, 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month, well, this is your day also. By the way, at the top, please like, share, and subscribe. And one thing is clear. I do not and will not ever DM you for money. I just don't do that. In honor of Women's Month, as you know, a week ago today, I had Sister Khalil Washington on, a famous astrologer, and we were talking about Roberta Flack. So today they're honoring her at the Abyssinia Baptist Church. I was there this afternoon before the crowd really started, and these were some of the scenes that I took. There were quite a bit. Believe me, this was nothing. This was nothing compared to by the time there was 4 o'clock that came, and this was some pictures taken. And in fact, I think Reverend Al Sharpton is giving the final eulogy right now as we speak. So if you want to hear it, just go to www.robertaflack.com and you will tap in live to hear it. And this is what the interior of the church looks like. This is it. When they were giving it, I've been looking at the eulogy for about maybe the last hour and a half before coming on to the show. But this is to acknowledge a brilliant musical artist, a talented and wonderful human being. And they had the likes of Felicia Rashad there. They had they also did some video appearances of India Irie, Dionne Warwick, Peebo Bryson, and a couple other people of note. But it's just a really an amazing tribute to a great lady. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you a great lady too. And her name is Shatavia. How are you, Shatavia?
Peace. It is definitely a pleasure to be up here on the channel again. So people know me as Conjure Queen, even though my name is Shatavia, but they know my name now. You know, it is what it is, because people was confused. It was like, who's Shatavia? Is it Conjure Queen? It's the same person, y'all. So peace. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, let me ask you this. Who is Conjure Queen?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a big question, but Conjure Queen basically started because I always had a curiosity for the forbidden knowledge. I always had questions about religion and where we come from. And my family coming up from a Christian background, right? Like I used to always be in the church with my grandma and my family, but the pastor and them couldn't answer my questions, like, so I started to dig deeper, and I found out that like going to school, the schools wasn't answering my questions. So I started to go down that rabbit hole. And some of y'all that's watching this, y'all probably know what I'm talking about, right? Like when you go down that rabbit hole, it's like no stopping you. Like you go started me with the Illuminati videos, right? Like when I was like watching Rihanna Umbrella video, and they kept talking about Illuminati. I'm like, what's all this Illuminati business? And then they start talking about like the OC and I and the Ankh symbols and all of these symbols that really were just our indigenous powerful symbols that we utilize in like our spiritual practices, because symbols rule the world. So I got so fascinated with this information. It was like, finally, I'm getting the answers that I've been looking for my whole life. So they started coming to me, and lo and behold, like, things was happening in my life. I was going through a lot of stuff. And then I decided to start a YouTube channel, just talking about my spiritual journey, talking about things I was going through. Because I'm like, I can't be the only one going through this right now. It has to be somebody else. And lo and behold, people started to gravitate to my channel. I never planned on getting big like this, but just being my authentic self, talking about these topics that nobody was talking about at the time. Bobby Hemmett was my teacher. And so I said, you know what? I don't see any women that's talking about the stuff that Bobby Hemmett talks about, right? The stuff that like Delbert Blair was talking about. I'm like, there's a lot of men in this industry. So I'm like, maybe this is my cue that I need to, step forward and lead the way, and maybe more women will come. And so lo and behold, more women started to gravitate. Now you see a lot more women talking about spirituality, consciousness, right? So it started a movement, and I'm happy to be a part of that. So I'm happy to see more people waking up. So that's
I think that's a good thing to have women involved, because sometimes we get the impression certain areas of life is for men thing. Not understanding that spirituality transcends all genders, all ages, all ethnicities. It's just a matter of coming into the consciousness. So when you became aware, because especially because you're talking about old school teachers, Bobby Hemmett, Delbert Blair, that I did a lecture with about maybe 15, 20 years ago in DC with him. So we're talking about old school. And so I just think it's very nice that you would have that experience and then say, okay, sisters need to do this too. Sisters need to explore this also too.
Absolutely.
So, how long has Conjure Queen been in effect, shall we say? And how did you come up with the name Conjure Queen?
Well, let's see. I started my YouTube platform in 2015. But if people ask me, when did I turn online? When did I tap into this consciousness? I was literally 3 years old when I was asking my mother, like, Mom, what is the point of life? Like, why do we do this? And she was just looking at me confused, like, not just some 3-year-old girl.
Excuse me, at 3 years old, I'd be a little confused too, if you asked to be.
But I've always been this way, right? Like, I wish I could put my mother on here right now. But me and her did a few videos on my platform. If you guys want to check it out, right? Like, you can check out my platform. Me and my mom did like 2 or 3 videos, and she's definitely tapped in, right? Like, and it's just like, I don't know, like 2015 was when I decided to finally put myself out there, because like at that time, Lloyd, I was going through the dark night of the soul. I had just like left a narcissistic abusive relationship. I was living in a very toxic situation, right? Like everything you could possibly think of that was going wrong in my life was going wrong. And I felt like I didn't really have like a support system of people around me who understood, because once again, my family was Christian, right? Like I was going through this spiritual awakening moment, and my spirit was just like, you know what? Turn on your camera, talk about it. If I would have known, Lloyd, that it would have blew up like this, I would have at least got cute. Like if y'all go and look at my first video, I'm in my pajamas, my hair is not done. I'm in my.
In other words, you were doing the best you could. Right?
I was doing the best I could, Lloyd. But y'all can see I was going through it. Okay, I was going through it. But look,
that's what makes you authentic, though, Conjure Queen.
You know what? And that's what I think about, because I've been so tempted to take that video down. I'm like, yo, this video is crazy. But something's like, no, leave it up there. Let them see your growth. So that's why I left it up there, because I do believe, especially when it comes to women, we wear our stress on our face. And literally, when I left that narcissistic relationship, when I had left that toxic household, when I had finally started to step into my truth, work with my ancestors, and I allowed spirit to guide me, walking by faith, not by sight, that's when the glow up started to happen. You could, if y'all watch my videos, you can start to see when my looks start to shift and change, like a literally morph. And I'm telling you, like, sometimes the reason why we're not able to grow and thrive like we want to is because it could be somebody or something in our life that we're not letting go of. You feel me? Sometimes it's about releasing and letting go in order for you to grow.
But the name in and of itself, the brand you gave yourself, Conjure Queen.
Right.
Happened in a dream? Were you just thinking?
So
Were
to
you
answer that question,
or you say,
right.
was it just me? You know, I'm doing the best I can. And then all of a sudden, a kind of a answer came to you, so to speak.
You know what's funny? The name Conjure Queen it had a ring to it. I don't know what, like, you know how you just sitting there and the name just came? Like, I didn't have to sit there and think about what's my YouTube channel name going to be. What? Like, I already had this name in my mind. It was just sitting there. And I remember at one point in time, like, I had it as my IG name. And then at the time I was still with my narcissistic boyfriend. And he was like, Conjure Queen, why would you change your name to Conjure Queen? I don't like that name. You should change. Like, he was always trying to change me. And I'm like, nah, I like this name. I'm going to keep this name. Right? Y'all know how narcissists try to change you. He tried to change me, y'all. But I'm like, nah, my spirit was like, nah, keep that name. So I kept the name. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to use this name as my YouTube. Why not? Right? So Conjure Queen, the reason why it came to me is like Conjure Queen means to bring things into existence. I never like to feel like society or other people are controlling me. I'm a life path number 5. You know about numerology, okay? Life path number 5 cannot be controlled, cannot be contained. We are chaotic. We are wild. Like we are free spirits. You feel me? And so that's the energy that I was coming into. I was like, okay, you know what? Growing up in school, having my teachers tell me what I need to be, my parents, my family tell me what I have to be, society tell me what I had to be. I felt like becoming Conjure Queen was literally a rebellious act of me saying, I'm going to be who I want to be. I'm conjuring my reality and I'm doing what I see fit. And that's what I teach my students. That's what I teach my clients. And shout out to the Conjure Society, right? Like in our Conjure Society, I teach people how to tap into these occult or metaphysical sciences. This is really just ancient spiritual technology that the ancient Egyptians used, the ancient Mayans, the indigenous people here, like all around the world. They knew this science and technology and they utilized it to literally morph their reality, their simulated reality. So people forgot about the science, but this is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm saying, listen, we have to understand how to use these ancient principles for modern day times. It's about adapting. And so now it's like we can't keep living in this old formula of what used to work, let's say last century, 2 centuries ago. No, times has changed. So we have to adapt as well as our spiritual technology, right?
Yep. You know what? That makes me think when you were talking about it, I wonder what your narcissistic boyfriend would think of you now.
Oh,
you come into your own, to blossom into the flower that you become.
Well, he probably kicking the air right now because imagine fumbling me. Okay, like imagine fumbling a goddess, but that's on him. You know, I wish him the best. But you know what they say about narcissists, right? Like they say, and I have a video that's coming up. I recorded a video today. I didn't upload it yet. But I'm probably gonna upload it tomorrow, y'all. So make sure y'all subscribe, right? If you ever are with a narcissist, you got to understand that they don't love the way that normal people love. They see you as supply. Just that's it. You are supply. And you might be grade A
they
supply.
See you as a what? A supply?
Supply. Just like supply, like energy. Like you literally are a cow that they milk. When they get tired, they come to you, they need supply, whether it's love, affection, attention. And so if you are the one who discarded the narcissist, meaning like you left them before they left you, because they like to leave you, let's say, and leave the door open so they can always come back. But once you close that door on a narcissist and you say, I'm done, and you don't let them back in and you level up and you growing and they can't get access to that, baby, that's the best revenge ever. You feel me? You ain't got to worry about harming them, doing nothing to them. Just you elevating, leveling up, and them not having access to you is the best revenge yet.
Well, what about, now that's very interesting. You said that they would leave, but sometimes women would leave the door open where they would come back. Why would women do that per se? Do they think the man is going to change or whatever?
That's
the case
it.
Is?
That's exactly it. It's a narcissistic play. This is like their game. It's like a copy and paste formula. But once you become aware of the entity that you're dealing with, you already know how to work with them. So basically what a narcissist does is they love bomb you. Now, love bomb basically just means Once they got you hooked in, they learn you. They're very observant. Okay. They don't have a personality of their own. So they have to mirror your personality to yourself. And we all have a little bit of narcissism in us. They're on the extreme ends. So they will be you. Like they'll be charming. To charm means to basically put down a person's defenses and show them whatever they want to see. They put up a mirror. So you start to fall in love with this person because you're like, oh my God, they understand me. They get me. Oh my God. Like they listen, they pay attention. Baby, they just love bombing you until they finally get you, right? Get you married, get you with a baby. Oh God, if they got you with a baby, get you whatever, however they want to get you. And once they got you, that's when the devaluation starts. That's when they start breaking you down. That's when they start triangulating you. But let's say between the exes, they baby mamas or whatever. And what they do is they keep you in this constant state of anxiety. You're always worried. How can I keep the peace? When is that man coming back that I fell in love with? You have to understand the person, woman or man, because women are narcissists too. You have to understand when you thinking back about, oh my God, we were so perfect and all of this, don't think about the person that you met. Think about the person that you left. Think about the person that broke you or tried to break you. That is who the narcissist is. That other person that you first met is a facade. It's a representative. Okay, that's how they got you hooked. Women are waiting. Women have this natural instinct to want to nurture, to want to change a man, to fall in love with a man's potential. I used to be that woman, right? Bob the Builder. You want to build a man up. You want to fix him up. No. Never again. Okay, because that's their ploy. They want you to bank on, oh yeah, she ain't gonna go nowhere. He ain't gonna go nowhere. You know, they act like they this really bad child. That's why they act like a bad child. And you just want to fix them. You want to heal them. But baby, you got to get rid of that. Somebody said, oh, that was the moderator.
Yeah, the moderator. Yes.
Yes, y'all. Make sure that y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button too.
Yeah, okay. And the thumbs up are free. I keep telling them it's free. I don't know what.
Right. That's how more people get access to this information. Let's spread this knowledge, right? Sharing is caring. But that's what I have to say about narcissists, right? And since we talking about like spiritual, right? Narcissists, they attach and they want to keep the door open because they don't fully want you to move on. They want to always have access to you. That's why they always triangulate.
That's interesting, you know.
They got an X.
A whole different way of looking. Okay, go ahead. They always want to have access to you.
They always want to have that's power, right? Because look, let's say for instance, they leave, they decide to discard you, leave you, they devalue you, they tell you nothing, you're worthless, you're pathetic, they wish they never would have met you. Now you're feeling like crap. Now they go leave you, and next thing you know, they with somebody else in a relationship with somebody else, and it hasn't even been a whole week yet. Now you thinking, damn, like how they just move on from me? Like is this happening? You falling apart? They're doing that on purpose. They literally want to see you destroyed. They want to break you down. So that way, when they do come back to you, you be happy. Oh my God, you came back. You see, it's like an addict. They get you addicted to them. And sometimes it could be soul ties. They got a soul tie on you, and that's why you can't move on. And this is why I always tell my ladies, okay, it's Ladies Month. So I'm speaking to the ladies specifically right now. Exactly what I'm about to say to you. Women can do this to men, but this is a trick that men do to trap you. When you are in the bedroom, and I'm going to keep this PG, okay? When you are in the bedroom, because we're not on my platform, we're on Lloyd platform. When you are in the bedroom, and let's say, you know, he hitting that right spot, and he tell you to say his name and whose is it, you better not dare. You better not dare say his name or say it's his, because that is a bind right there. That's how you bind your soul. Yeah. Just like when in hoodoo, if a woman wants to trap a guy, right when a guy is about to orgasm, if once he comes, right, or he whatever, she ties the knot shut and she seals his soul in that knot. She takes that knot that she takes and put it in a mojo bag, and then she wears that mojo bag so that she controls.
You talking about the condom?
Huh? The condom? No, not the condom.
Okay. So well, whatever it is. Okay.
So basically, see, I gotta censor myself a little bit because we're not on my platform. So basically, when you in the moment, and let's say when a woman wants to trap a guy, let's say you got a man that's like running around and you tired of him running around on you, you want to just make it so that he won't be able to rise for nobody but you, right? One way that you do is a knot spell. Now you basically, let's say you have a red string. Go to the bedroom, put the red string under the pillow, and let's say the pillow is under him, you on top of him, right, cowgirl style. And so when you on top and he's about to explode, right in that moment, you tie the knot shut underneath the pillow. He's not supposed to see it though. You got to tie the knot shut, right? And then you put an emoji banner. There's other things you got to do too, but I got to be careful with this information because some of y'all might be abusing this power. But listen, if you're interested in learning stuff like that, subscribe to my email listing because I be doing rituals. I be doing private rituals and stuff like that for my clients that is interested in things like that. But that is a way that you can bind the man's soul. That's why they talk about snatching souls. You can really snatch his soul, put his soul in that knot, and then he'll be trapped in it.
Listen, I heard that there's a thing about you take the man's shoes and you leave it by the door, but you leave him facing in opposite directions. Is that true? Or is that?
You know what's crazy? I heard that before, and I remember one time a guy had came over to my house, and like I don't allow shoes in my house, so I was like, you gotta take your shoes off. But whenever I take my shoes off, I put it the opposite way because somebody taught me that you're supposed to do that so spirits don't jump in your shoes and leave with you. Mm-hmm. So anyway, he took his shoes off, and I don't know how, but like I had turned it or whatever. I just a habit. I just turned it, and he was like, "Why you turn my shoe like that?" And I'm like, and I told him why. He was like, "Well," he said the same thing you said. He was like, "Well, where I'm from, they say that if you turn the shoe on top of each other, that means I can't leave." I'm like, bro, I don't want you. Like that's not what this.
Ain't that serious, right?
It's not that serious, but that's why I'm like I wasn't thinking about that. But he was Trinidadian, so I know in a lot of Caribbean. Yeah, a lot of Caribbean countries, like a lot of Caribbean islands and stuff like that, like they're very superstitious. It's like the South here. Like in the South,
that's true.
Men from the South, they don't like to eat any red sauce because they believe that, let's say if you get into a fight and let's say your lady be like, "Hey baby, it's all right, come over, I made you some spaghetti." Do not eat the spaghetti. Next thing you know, you sprung on her. You can't leave her alone. You don't know why you can't leave. Be like, "Yo, I can't stand this girl, but I just can't leave." What is it?
I've heard of things like that. And see, in my mind, it's hard for me to imagine that, like, what do you mean I can't leave? Are you serious?
Yeah, like imagine it's literally like trapping somebody. So, I mean, I don't recommend it, right? Like, because y'all know the red sauce is a woman's stuff, right? So they say.
But I was taught also when they give you that sometimes you got to watch what a woman will give you to eat or something like that too. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. That's what I'm talking about. Like the red sauce, the menstrual blood, and the spaghetti. I know some people are like, "Oh my God, this is disgusting. Who in their right mind?" But this is an old tradition. This is when y'all be talking about, "Oh, how were the women back in the days able to keep a man?" Baby, they was feeding their husband some spaghetti. Okay. That's how they wasn't able to run off. That's why they kept your grandma, great grandma had all of those kids, and great granddaddy never left because grandma had his underwear buried in the backyard.
I heard of that too.
And she was stirring that sweat rice and some spaghetti every night, giving it to her. Okay, don't play. That's the reason why, and a lot of y'all forgot how to do that, so that's why y'all man running out. No, I'm playing.
have you ever met somebody that you thought about putting the kind of whammy on?
No, I don't need to. I am the juju. You feel me? Like my energy, they always come back. I always say that. I be like, they be like, "I don't want you to put no love spell on me." I'm like, trust me, I don't need to. But you a real bruja, you don't need to do the love spells. You are the love spell. It's a vibe.
Okay.
And men do it too. Men do it too, because men sometimes they put special.
I don't hear too much about men doing it so much as women doing
this
it.
Is the thing. Men most when it comes to love spells, people don't believe this, but men are my clients when it comes to love spells. Men want love. You would think they want power, money. No, like men that have money and power already, they really want to find a woman that's going to love them. They're tired of being abused and used. So they be like, "I want love. Do a love spell for me." You feel me? So these men out here, they know about love spells. They know about stuff like this. They just act like they don't know anything, but they grandma or mama or auntie probably was doing it and teaching them. Okay. And the sign that you have a love spell on you, because some people got love spells on them and they don't even know it. Like I have a homeboy who I know for a fact that his girlfriend put something on him, but you can't tell him nothing because he's sprung and he's stuck on stupid. So she's Haitian, and I know she put a whammy on him. Because
by his opinion, he would swear up and down she ain't do nothing to him.
That's what the love spells do. You really just think that you in love with this person. Like, you just can't stop thinking about them. You dreaming about them. Like, everything about them, like, you got to be around them. They literally feel addictive to you. And so if you can't get around them, you start to get obsessive. You start to get jealous and angry. And you never probably felt like that before. Like, it can get crazy. The way that a love spell affects a man and a woman is two different things. Like, men tend to get more violent, right? It awakens that anger in them, possessiveness, like that lower shadow masculine energy. Where women, when they're in love, they're more lovey-dovey and sweet. You feel me? They might go crazy, but it depends. You feel me?
So the men can go off the deep end. That's what you're saying.
That both can. Both people. It depends on the person's psychology, because there's some people who have a very strong mind and they can sense when somebody's trying to do something to them. Like, I think one time, I sensed somebody was trying to do a love spell to me, and I automatically knew it wasn't me, because I know I'm not attracted to this person, and I know that these are not my thoughts. So I'm like, all right, I already know what time it is. My spirits, they reveal to me in dreams, because I'm an neuromancer. People who can dream visions, like see the future in dreams. So, yeah. I'm like,
who is more seduced, you think, easier, men or women, based upon your experience? And why is that, you think?
I think that I don't know. I can't say who's more seduced, but I would say that
we say, or more susceptible.
Who's most susceptible to love spells is usually people who have an idle mind. People who have, let's say,
that's interesting. Both male and female. That's what
both male and female, because we got to understand what magic is, right? Magic works in the realm of the mental. The universe is mental, all is mind. If I can control your mind, I can control your life. I can control your body. I got control of you, right? So when you do a love spell or controlling spell to somebody, you rule in the head. But what you're doing is you're sending subliminal messages to their mind, so they start to think that their thoughts are theirs. Like that movie Inception. I think it was called Inception, when he goes inside their mind and make them have certain dreams and make them think it's theirs. Same thing with magic. You just don't got to go on nobody's dream like that, but you do your rituals, and I teach people how to do this too, like my clients and stuff. You do your ritual, whatever, and you do, once you do your ritual, you tell them what you want them to think. You tell them what you want them to do, and they start thinking that it's their thoughts. But if you got a strong mind, you can push that out, because you're like, I don't think like this. I'm not interested in this person. Stubborn people tend to be hard to control. If you're a really stubborn person and, it's hard to move you, it's going to be very difficult. If not impossible, but it's more difficult to control.
It's more of a challenge.
Right. And if you're very intelligent too. So it's about intelligence.
Would that include women? That's include both men and women.
Yes. I'm talking about both men and women. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to divide it based upon gender.
Sure.
But I wanted to talk more about like a person's mindset. If you have a strong mind.
Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Okay, go right ahead, as you were saying.
If you have a strong mind and you have your inner voice, just like I always tell my clients and my students, I'm like, they ask, whenever you're meditating, how do you know if it's like your voice or if it's spirit talking? And I said, that's where you have to learn how to understand your inner dialogue more. Some people don't have any inner dialogue, but if you're used to talking to yourself, right, to process your emotions and your thoughts, and you hear this external voice or something outside come out of nowhere, it sounds like noise, and you were like, oh, hell no, that ain't mine. Like, you got to rebuke it. You got to cast it out. Like, you got to do your banishing rituals to get rid of that, because somebody's trying to send their impression or force their will upon you. That's what psychic attack is. Mental attack. They do it all the time with advertisements, social media, right? They hook you into your emotions. They get into your mind. You keep hearing that jingle over and over and over again. A lot of y'all probably still remember jingles from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because it's stuck. It's a spell. It's manipulation.
My moderator says those raw videos are the ones that hit the most. Is she referring to your raw videos by any
I
chance?
don't know what you're talking about, Jazz, because I mean, my platform is raw. Like, my mouth is
It must be
crazy.
yours then.
But that's, but for the sake of this, like, I'm watering it down a little bit, but I'm still giving y'all the information. But I want to just say that that's another reason why I had started my YouTube platform, because I realized that there wasn't anybody that was talking about like the raw stuff. It was more like the pretty love and light stuff that's very popular now, that still is. But I'm like, you know what? Our ancestors didn't believe in just like this one-sided way of magic, right? Like, they believed in duality, yin yang, darkness, light, balance, right? Ma'at. So whenever you just focus on one thing, like let's say, for instance, the Native Americans, the indigenous Americans, they knew herbs to heal, to cure, but they also knew those poisonous herbs too, because they knew they had enemies. So they knew how to create poisonous darts and stuff like that to destroy their enemies and weapons and stuff, but they knew how to heal the community too. And that's my philosophy, right? So I have something that's called the Conjurist philosophy, Conjurism. And basically, it's the modern day way of thinking of life, the 7 universal principles, and how can we utilize these ancient principles and apply it to modern day life. Everything, Go ahead.
No, I would say that's interesting. And in fact, I just saw this from Sharon West. I love Conjure Queen. I've been following her for years. Welcome back to the platform.
Oh, thank you, Sharon West. I appreciate you. Yes.
And she's been a guest on my show. She's a great numerologist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And for those who don't know, Lloyd is actually my teacher in numerology too.
That's when I taught you at City College.
City College, right.
Yeah.
He definitely taught me a lot, because I do talk about numerology a little bit on my platform. I'm not as deep as Lloyd is, but if you guys are interested in numerology, y'all got to make sure y'all tune into him, because he taught me a lot.
Wow. I think it's amazing, because people talk about this, I've got something on me. And I guess for people who don't understand, they're just thinking they're just making up something. But there seem people that seem to be possessed, for lack of a better word of putting it.
Ooh, yeah. Possession is a real thing. So there's levels to like magic, spirituality, conjurism. It's more advanced if somebody sends a spirit to you. A lot of people don't have the skill and the ability, but for those who do send a spirit, right, like you have to do certain things to get rid of it. You can't just imagine a white light around you like a lot of these love and lighters say. That is not going to get rid of that entity. That entity, they tell you burn sage, that entity is going to laugh at you while you're burning the sage and then beat you up even more. You're going to wake up with scratches and marks on your body. If you wake up with 3 scratches on you, baby, you definitely need to contact the spiritualist, because that means that you have been marked. And something or
That's
entity.
Interesting.
It's called the mark of the Trinity. My mother told me about this a long time ago. About, I used to always have this experience of this witch. The witch was riding me when I was a little kid. My grandmother told me it called the hag riding you. Sleep paralysis. When you're in the bed, something's holding you down. You can't scream. You can't yell. You can't move. You're just stuck there. And it was the most terrifying thing ever, until my grandmother told me how to get rid of it. She was like, listen, you got to say Psalm 23, right? Psalm 23. And I memorized that Psalm, even to this day, because whenever she came back, I had said it and she just disappeared. She ain't come back. She tried to come back again, but I remember that Psalm and she just vanished.
Is that the Lord is my shepherd? I shall not want?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
That's it.
Listen, Mr. C says narcissists equal energy vampire.
Well, Mr. C is absolutely right, because that's exactly what they are. They are entities. They are a narcissist. We got to understand that these are not, and the people throw that word around loosely. Okay. Diagnosed real narcissists are skinwalkers. Like, they look like you and me, but they don't have a soul. So what happens when you're just a corpse, you have an empty vessel? Entities jump in it. Right? You don't have anything inside. That's why they constantly hop from one relationship to the next, one job to the next, different personality. They're crazy. They need that supply. And let's say you was their grade A supply, the best supply they ever got, and you leave them or they don't have access to you. Oh, y'all ever seen a drug addict going through withdrawals? Oh, they're going to be kicking and screaming like a freaking cockroach that just got sprayed with Raid. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be out of commission, because they need that hit. And so when they're going through those fits, these demonic entities that's living inside of them or that walks into them, they take over. Yep, that's why you be like, yo, who did I marry? Who is this person? This is not the person I fell in love with. Of course it's not. This is the
They
person.
were actually in disguise.
They in disguise. They don't have a personality. The only person you fell in love with was your reflection. They was copying you. They were mirroring you. This is the Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. It talk about, into their spirit, become their mirror. This is how Erykah Badu be having all of those men falling in love. What Erykah Badu say? She was like, I don't do nothing, but I just listen. She listens to them so that way she can reflect back to them what they want to see. Then she pulls away because she has an avoidant attachment style. And then they fall in love with her. And then when they come back to her, that's when they switch their whole style. Now they in her spirit. You ever notice all her exes end up switching to look like her? That's her.
No, I never noticed that. I don't keep up with some of the gossip, but
I don't pay attention to gossip either, but I pay attention to patterns. And I notice patterns with people. Once you learn people's patterns, you'll be able to get yourself out of toxic situations. You'll be able to save yourself a whole big headache. Trust me. Well, and I'm a Cancer, y'all, for reference. So Cancers are very intuitive. We already know. We can see you coming before you even turn the corner.
Well, this person, Legend Taylor, says they're going through that right now, whatever that is.
Narcissism. Listen, if you going through that, baby, I'm telling you, it's easier said than done because people that told me to leave the narcissist. But when you're in love and you feel like this is the one, they make you feel like you can't do no better than them. That is the trap. Once you realize you could do better, the spell breaks.
Well, this is what he said as a follow-up. Literally just gave Shorty back all her stuff on
Saturday. He ain't playing. All right, Legend. He's like, yo, I'm out. See, that's how you got to do it, Legend. You cannot.
Well, you got to step.
You got to just step and listen. Y'all, if y'all feel like you cannot get over somebody, if you feel like there's some type of a cord or a connection that you be like, no matter how much time goes by, no matter what, you can't leave them. They might have a spiritual tie on you and you might need to break that. Now,
how do they know though, especially if it's done so seductively? Does it make sense?
That's what I'm saying.
In other words, they all of a sudden they just can't get away from this person. Don't that tell them be a red flag or something? No.
When you are under the influence, that's like when you go out and you have a drink or you drink too much, and people telling you, hey, you had too much to drink, you look drunk. You under the influence, you don't feel like you drunk, right? The drunk person doesn't see that they drunk. They feel like they sober, but everybody else can see it. So that's how it is when a person is under a spell. Everybody can see something's wrong. Your family might say that you acting different. Your friends might say that you acting different. Everybody gonna be like, you different now. Like, what's going on? Is everything okay? So even if you start feeling like, if you connected to your spirit, you might feel something like, yo, I've never been like this for nobody before. Like for me, right? Like for me, it's always been, I was able to leave. Like, when I'm done and I feel like there's nothing else on the table for me in this relationship and I've tried everything,
it's a wrap for you.
I'm over it. Yeah, like once I'm done, I'm done. But I feel like when it came to, when it comes to narcissists or these people who try to put you in bindings, spiritual bindings, it's harder for you to leave. It's like you want to leave, but then it's like you can hear their spirit calling you back, reeling you back in. And it's like no matter how much you try to leave, you can't. So that's a spiritual tie. It brings you right back.
I've heard that before. The woman will say they broke up the guy, but they says the woman will say, well, he won't let me go.
Oh, yeah.
And I says, why not? I mean, he's over there and you way over there. What do you mean he can't let you go?
So, and you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, Lloyd, because even if you move on from the person, right? Like when you do a cord cutting and you move on from the person, that doesn't necessarily mean they moved on. They might feel you moving on. And that next thing you know, they running up in your DMs. They trying to run into you in public. They trying to call you, text you. Hey, big head. Hey, stranger. How you doing? Like, because they could feel you energetically moving on. It's like a rubber band, right? Like you keep stretching that rubber band, and the more you stretch it, the more tension that it is. Until finally you let go. What's going to happen? That snapback. Pop. Yeah. Pop the ass, right? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Pop.
We can have that one. We can have that one. Go ahead.
And they're going to come looking for you like, hold on. That's why you ever notice whenever you're moving on or you found somebody that makes you happy, here come your ex. It's like they can sniff it. They can feel it. They can feel you moving on.
I've heard that before too. Why is that?
It's energetic. People don't understand how things why things work the way that they work. And this is why I want you to understand energy. Study energy. Once you understand how energy works, you understand how all of this stuff plays out. Because when you cut them on an energetic level, cut that cord on an energetic level, they can feel you moving on. That's why they want to pop back up. That's why they want to call you again. And I have a video on my YouTube called the walnut bath. You take six black walnuts, but I would highly suggest 9. I have put 6 on my YouTube, but 9 is more powerful. 9 black walnuts, you bathe in that, and it's supposed to cut all energetic ties from your exes, from toxic relationships, and you're going to move on. You're not going to feel nothing. Like literally your feelings will be dead for that person. But they probably still come around. That's why I suggest don't do that unless you're really ready to go, because it's not going to work out. Like they're going to be sprung on you. Just leave them alone. Move on.
Well, Kia Maya says, once I close the door, as you said, for real, I elevate so fast.
You see, Kia Maya, because once you let go of a narcissist, like I think it was Mr. C has said it. Somebody said it in here that, they let go, and that person was a vampire to them. So they're literally sucking your life force. A narcissist has no spiritual reservoir. When we are as empaths, as spiritualists, as introverts, whenever we're overwhelmed, what we do, we go in our little, we go home, we recharge, our hermit cave, our cancer crab bubble, whatever it is. You go in and you recharge, you reflect on the lessons that you need to learn, and you move on, you evolve. Narcissists are not capable of that. They can't go inside. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want to face all of their demons. So what they do is they just hop from one thing to the next. Now they're taking all of those demons and problems from your relationship, and they bringing that to the new supply, which is the new girlfriend, the new boyfriend. And they want to make you jealous. All of that is optics. So even if they leave you, and let's say y'all was together for like seven years, right? I'm just putting numbers, 7 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they leave, and you kick them out, or they leave, whatever. And next thing you know, next week you find out they getting engaged. What the hell? How the hell this happened? Well, the truth is they had this person in the background the whole entire time. They always have a backup. They was waiting for they need constant supply. So if you run out, they got something else to back up. It's like they addicts. They are literally
amazing. That's interesting. Wow.
It was sucking your luck away from you, Yemaya. That's what happened to me. Once I cut off my narcissistic ex, it was like, that's when my platform blew up. That's when life started happening for me. My business started to expand. I was selling candles at the time. Like everything was working out for me. Even
in other words, had he stayed in your life, you wouldn't have got off the ground at all. That's what you're saying.
I don't think so. I mean, but that's what they're designed to do. They don't want you to evolve past them. They condition you to think that you're worthless, that nobody wants you, that you'll never be anything. So that way you can't outgrow them. But once you outgrow them and you prove to them that, I'm self-made, I never needed you, that's a huge narcissistic injury. Rejection for us is nothing. Like for a narcissist, that's like 10 times worse. Literally, that little fragile ego that they have, when you reject them, it destroys them.
Because I know Irvin Wallace says the narcissist breakdown is super on point.
Listen, because of the work that I'm into, I have to study different types of entities, demons, spirits. And when I think about a narcissist, you got to look at them like you are literally in a spiritual battle with an entity right now. And when you got to understand the art of war, says you got to understand your enemy, and you got to also understand yourself. Okay, you can't just understand one or the other. So I started to do self-knowledge, understanding myself. And then I look back and I'm like, okay, now I understand why, I allowed these things. Because first you got to heal yourself. You got to forgive yourself and say, I forgive myself for allowing that to happen to me, for allowing this person to treat me this way. Because at that point in time, you probably had a low self-esteem. You probably didn't really know who you were. You probably were younger and more naive. Right? I was much younger and naive then. So that's what the narcissist took advantage of that.
Yeah.
They take pride and joy. They aim for those people who they feel like is very young, very naive.
Try to groom you, so to speak.
Yes. He was older than me too. He was trying to groom me. But he didn't know. He ain't know he was dealing with a wise one. He didn't know how wise I was and how far ahead I was, but beyond my years.
Well, listen, I could have told him if at 3 years old you asked those kind of questions with your mother. Obviously, okay, that should have been the tip off right there. But he didn't ask no questions.
He ain't know what he was messing with, Lloyd. But anyway.
Listen, anyway, Legend Taylor says she wasn't expecting me to find out and it shocked her, and she was just thinking of everything in the book to call.
Yup, that's the legend. That's the devaluation stage. She was trying to devalue you. Remember? So remember when I said they got the love bombing stage, right? And once again, y'all, listen. This is a template for them. They just copy and paste. They do this for everybody. Legend. I'm probably sure everybody in here who dealt with a narcissist, you can confirm this. In the beginning, everything felt perfect. You was in heaven with this person. It felt like they was your ideal mate. Okay, they was telling you all the right things, doing all the right things, and you felt like this is your person. The love bomb. Now, once you start catching on to who they really are, and you start pointing out all of the things that's not making sense, now they have to gaslight you. Now they have to be like, oh no, how dare you say this to me? You know what? You're insecure. You're cheating on me. You're not good enough. All of this stuff. So now they devalue you and make you think that, oh wait, well maybe she's right. Maybe I am overthinking. Oh, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm doing too much. I just want to keep things.
Make you doubt yourself. That's what you're saying.
There you go. So they start playing psychological games when now you start to trust their word over yours. You don't listen to that inner voice anymore. You listen to them now. Now you start to go to them for confirmation or approval. Hey, babe, what do you think about this dress?
And they're using you.
There you go. And then see, Legend caught on to the game. So he's like, nah, you got to get out of here. You can't entertain them. You can't argue with them. You just got to kick them out and close the door and never let them back in, because they're going to hoover you. And hoover basically just means they're going to reach back out. They're going to try to come back in.
And probably when they come back in, they're going to try to get their claws in deeper.
Like it's going to be even worse when you bring every time. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime you took back a narcissistic ex, did it get better or did it get worse? It gets worse, because now they want to punish you, because how dare you move on? How dare you make me go through this narcissistic injury? How dare you make me feel abandoned? How dare you make me face myself? Right? Because when you cut them off, they had no choice but to go to the new supply. They didn't want to go over there. They didn't want to marry that new supply. They didn't want to have a baby with that new supply. They wanted to be you, but you didn't give them access. So now they're angry. So if you let them back in, oh, they're going to let you have it. And you're going to get it. Okay? They're going to tear you up.
Well, so Legend says, save this live, please, Queen. So many people going through this right now.
Y'all going to love the new video I have coming out then, because I think I'm going to post it tomorrow. I didn't finish editing it because I was going to do this live, but I have a video.
About 10 minutes after this is all, they can see it on YouTube. Numbers in you. They can see it live.
Oh, yeah, they can? Oh, okay, so it's going to be recorded. They was asking about this.
Yeah, this is automatic going to YouTube right after this.
Okay, perfect. So then y'all got your answer.
Within 5 or 10 minutes, they will be on so they can look at it again. But it's even better if they go to your site. Would that be correct, Conjure Queen?
So yeah. So if you guys want to watch this again on Lloyd's channel. I'm not sure if it's going to be on mine too, because we're doing like this new little collab thing with StreamYard. But I do have a separate YouTube video that's going to be coming out, and I'm going to put that on YouTube probably tomorrow or sometime this week. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out. And as far as my website is concerned, right, on my website, I do post like my blogs, because I am a writer, and I have like my ebook up there. I have like my Conjure Society, if you're looking for a community of people who are just like you, who you could talk to about spirituality and spiritual experience and stuff. That is also on my website. So make sure that you subscribe to my email list, and it's free to be on my email list, because I send out emails based upon, like, let's say if I have sales, if I'm starting to do readings and stuff like that, or root work, because I am going to start, I have started doing root work. I don't really promote it like that on my website, just because I do it on a case-by-case basis and word of mouth.
Well, yeah. Key Love says narcissists always have a backup plan. Someone will always be in the hole.
Key is right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you will be they main supply. They got their main supply, their main squeeze. Okay. And then they had their little side chick, they little, sneaky link, the other supply. Sometimes they might have 3. Okay. But they have to always keep this triangulation, because guess what they do? They have to make you feel like, okay, if I got to keep my main squeeze worried about my side chick. So I got to put them against each other. Like, let's say you the new girlfriend, new boyfriend, whatever. And they got a baby mama, baby daddy. And they're going to, like, let's say you getting on their nerve. they're going to start talking about you to the baby mama, baby daddy. Will be like, you know what? I should have never left them. I should have stayed with them. They do this better than you. They do that better than you. They cook better than you. They dress better. They got more money than you. I'm going back over here. Then they go over there and be like, all right, bye. Yeah. They go over there just to make you mad. But when they realize you ain't checking for them no more, they start getting mad at the new supply or at the baby mama, baby daddy. Be like, because they was only doing that to get your attention. But when they realize you're not giving them the attention that they want, they get mad. They're going to start taking out all that anger that they have for you on that new supply. That's why I'm like, yo, don't even worry about if you be like, they look like they so happy and stuff. Narcissists, they thrive off of their image, public image. They got to always look like they got it together. They got to look like they're perfect, that they're the perfect dad, perfect mother, that they're the perfect wife, perfect husband. You know, it's all a facade. Look at the serial killers, right? Look at Ted Bundy. Everybody said, oh, Ted Bundy was such a nice guy. He was such a
good-looking guy, whatever the case is, and was killing people left and right.
Meanwhile, he carving out women's vaginas, putting them in the refrigerator, eating them for later. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Wow. This is the type of stuff that we dealing with. Narcissists are, this is what I'm saying. This is a demonic or a dark entity you're dealing with. It could be, they can unalive you. They literally have no moral system. They don't. They don't know right from wrong.
Angelo says he got to start checking under these pillows.
I like that one.
He must be busy. Okay.
No, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about what I said about the red string.
I know exactly what he was talking about.
That's like, exactly my point. Red string up under my pillow. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Chocolate says, I'm literally shaking my head smiling, but this is so crazy. It is. It really is. I mean, it's like these are things I never even thought about. And I would hear people say this, and I say, yeah, right. You know,
this stuff is real. This is stuff that our grandmamas used to tell us that we didn't like. For instance, my grandmother used to always tell me, she was like, you know, whenever I used to do my hair, she'd be like, oh, don't leave your hair around like that. Somebody could get to it. Or like, she's like, oh, don't leave your hair around. If you track your hair around, you're going to have a wandering mind. Oh, if the birds get to your hair, they're going to make a nest with it. You're going to go crazy and have headaches. Your hair going to fall out. Don't let a pregnant person do your hair because your hair going to fall out.
There's so many little things like that.
Oh, that's true.
You know, my folks are from the South. You know?
It's
my
true.
folks are from the South, so it's like things I would just, but I didn't pay it no mind. I think one family member says, you know, like we're cursed. I says, no, you're cursed. I'm not cursed.
There you go. Don't claim that. That ain't on you because we generational curse breakers.
Because see, for me, my attitude is as soon as I think it is, anytime I meet a roadblock, I will therefore conjure up an excuse. Not go further. Well, you know, the straight horns have been blocked. No, I haven't been blocked. Y'all been blocked. I haven't been blocked.
That's right. Don't claim that because word is bond and word have power. That's your hakao. Your heka or your hekao is the Egyptian word for like your magical power. What's up,
guys? C says, stay away from red sauce, bros.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you eat the red sauce, it don't even have to be red sauce because they get clever. They got something called sweat rice in the Caribbean. The Jamaicans know what I'm talking about. Sweat rice. You just, squat over a hot pot of rice, ladies, and give that to your man. He ain't going nowhere. Sweat rice. What's up, Miss I Am?
Okay, now Leo says, when my ex-husband cheated on me, I pissed in his tea. I was done with him. Now, that must mean something to you.
I wasn't
up in here, okay?
Wait, Miss Leo Gay, I was not ready for that. Nah, she said that out loud. Nah, girl. She's like, I pissed in it. So you know what? I mean, if you pee in somebody, stop. Sorry, my cat. If you pee in somebody's drink, that is a form of domination, right?
Really?
It is. You can, but it's intention, right? Like if she did it, he or she, if Leo Gang did it with the intention of like binding him, like, you know what, you want to cheat on me? Now I'm going to make you bound to me and I'm going to dip on your ass, okay? She probably did it like that. Or she probably was like, you want to cheat on me? All right, I'm going to pee in your thing out of just spite. Or to hex him. You can hex somebody with urine, you know.
Wow. Boy,
Yeah. So I'm just telling y'all, if you think somebody did a love
Sage
bind on
says
you,
this is so good.
I'm giving y'all the tea right now. Y'all getting the tea from a practitioner. Like, I'm telling y'all the real deal, the real spill, the stuff the love and lighters are not going to tell you because they're afraid. Like,
And
this is what I say.
says men do it too.
Oh yeah, we already said that, boo. We already said men are listen, they do love spells, they do love bondings. They know what they're talking about. A lot of these men in the conscious community, they work with spells and stuff. They just act like they don't.
That's interesting.
I can see them though, because it's like you know how they say it takes one to know one.
Yeah,
it takes a magician to know a magician. So I know when I'm dealing with a magician, I could just talk to you. I could read your energy. You can even smell them. Like for me, I could smell people's energy. Like I can feel it. I know what I'm dealing with. I know. Boy. Just like ladies, like certain men, you'd be like, oh, nah, I know this. If I do something with him, he's going to destroy my life. Like, I know. Let me just stay away from this man here. Let me stay away from this man. Let me stay away from this woman.
Wow. This is amazing. This is really, really amazing. I mean, there's just so many things I never thought about. I mean, I would hear these things and they would say, well, somebody put a spell on me, and I would just dismiss it like, yeah, okay. Because I mean, I just don't allow that kind of thing to get in my space.
Energy. And here's the thing too, right? Like, you have a powerful spirit, Lloyd. So you won't be as easy to control as somebody who has a weak spirit. Excuse me. So let's say,
I don't like being controlled at all.
That's what I'm saying. So that goes back to my point when I said in the beginning, like people who are more susceptible to magical control, like they have weak minds, or they might be in a weak space. So this is no jab to anybody who has got hit by a spell or whatever, because it happens to the best of us, right? Like sometimes your vibration may be very low and you might be going through something in life. We humans, right? We're having a human experience. So when you could be going through, let's say, a breakup, loss of a job, depression, that's when the dark entities come in, right? That's when they attack. Okay, that's when narcissists prey on you. That's when these people who are manipulators, or magicians, they stalking your social media. They trying to wait for the right moment. Okay, when is she down? Okay, then that was the time to throw my hex, to throw my spell. Like people are really crazy out here, y'all. I'm telling you, this is why you always got to protect yourself. And also too, for people who say they don't believe, like that movie, what was it called? The Skeleton Key. And for those who never watched it, it's a pretty good movie about like hoodoo, voodoo and stuff. The Skeleton Key. And basically she was like, oh, the spell doesn't work unless you believe it. That's not true. That is not true. Because I've seen things happen to people who came to me and they was like, listen, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in none of this stuff, but something weird is happening. And somebody told me to come to you, right? So now they can't deny it anymore. You can sit here and deny it all you want to, think that it's coincidence. But if somebody got the magical power and you did them wrong and they want to get your ass, they going to get you. You going to get got, okay, whether you believe in it or not, because the universe always wants balance. And so if somebody wrong you, steal from you, do you wrong, right? And you go to your spirit guides or to certain entities for divine retribution, you're going to get it.
Well, I have one or two more before we wrap this up. It's like Jamel Eternal. He says, I'm experiencing possession right now. What should he do?
Well, it depends. What kind of possession are you experiencing? Do you feel like something is taking over your mind, your actions, and your body? You might need to do an exorcism. Okay. I would definitely recommend you reach out to me, Jamal, so that way you can give me more information. I'm probably sure you don't want all your business out here on Front Street. And that's for everybody. Anybody that's in the live right now, if you want to know if you have anything on you, if you want to do root work, ritual work, let's say for protection, for love, money, success, unbinding, whatever it is, hit me up privately. And you could hit me up on my email.
Which one should they? You got your Instagram and you got your site.
It's better if they go through my website. It's better if they go through my website.
ConjureQueen.com. Is that correct?
I am ConjureQueen.com. Yep, okay. I am ConjureQueen.com. Somebody had put it in the chat too. So
okay, good. This is pretty amazing,
It's a lot. This is nothing. Like we could go for hours if possible, but
you know, and we was trying to figure out what we was going to talk about at the beginning of the show, and we still hadn't gotten to whatever it was we were supposed to be talking about.
We just improvise. See, that's what I love, though. That number 5, you know how we do.
Seriously, Legend says yes, but I got enough. I sat quiet and let her expose herself, and she had no idea she was digging her own grave.
You see, you did that
so
smart.
Everybody's got it right. He says, I got a Scorpio man. I'm clearing out my energy right now. Well, he sounds like he's in trouble.
Scorpio, Scorpios, they.
And Taco says, I'm so grateful for this conversation. Thank you both. No, thank Conjure. Thank Conjure Queen.
Conversations we need, right?
This person says a bad penny always shows up when you get a dime.
Oh, I like that saying. I'm gonna use that.
And Cheryl Lee says you can also manifest with the full moon because you have a lunar eclipse with it. I think the lunar eclipse is on this weekend.
Oh, it's coming up
on the 14th of Friday.
I was thinking about
the Mercury goes retrograde too.
See, I was listening. Those narcs going to start to come back. I'm telling you, when the Mercury go retrograde, exes try to come back, spin the block. But I'm telling you right now, don't let them have access to you, baby. Just block them. Don't. If they want to have a conversation, there's nothing to talk about. They're going to try to bait you. Just don't. Okay, don't do it. But I was going to say that normally every month we do like full moon rituals, and I send out an email blast to everybody who subscribes. So I'm thinking if I'm going to do a
so they should go to your website for that, right?
Yes. Go to my website, Conjure Queen. Yeah, and they can also, y'all can follow me on because my website has all my handles, but Instagram, YouTube mostly. That's mostly what I post on. I don't do too much social media like that.
What's your YouTube channel? I didn't have it here. I've got
Conjure Queen. It's the same thing. I am Conjure Queen
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good.
Yep.
Well, I'm a little over time. Listen, we got to do a part 2. I just heard so many things. I didn't realize the extent that people say, well, there's narcissists and the bad treatment, and yet the person doesn't go anywhere.
It's manipulation. They got their mind. They magicians. That's magicians too. They manipulate your mind. These are magicians who use their power for wickedness. So that's why you have magicians like myself who know they game, and I'm teaching y'all the game, and I'm teaching y'all how to reverse their spells on them, make them obsessed with you. Make them look
like you're gonna be busy for a minute based upon the comments on this segment.
I'm telling y'all, hit me up. Y'all already know. Go on my website, email me, talk to me, tell me what you need to do. Okay, I got you.
And also support her in her Cash App because she stepped out on faith like all of the other guests. 95% of the guests I have stepped out on faith. They don't have no 9-to-5 jobs. They don't have no pension plans or 401ks, no other umbrellas. They call it what you will. Nope. For some reason, they decided to just get out here and do the work, and it's not easy.
That's a fact. I haven't had a job since 2015 since I started my channel. So this is what I do full time. Thanks. This is my
support the sisters so y'all can get some work and get some healing too. That's very interesting. We're gonna have to explore this more. I mean, seriously. I didn't know we would go into this lane, but it's such an interesting lane to go into. Because I'm trying to figure out, because I have many clients, but they've been in a relationship. The guy's been gone, but they still there. And I'm trying to figure out what's the magic with that.
They gotta do an energy cord cutting. They gotta unbind them. It's a binding, it's a spiritual binding. That's why they can't move on. But don't worry, I got y'all. You ready to move on from that narcissistic ex? I got you. Hit me up. Okay. And if you want to learn how to do it yourself, I do have classes that teach you how to spiritually protect yourself, tap into your guides, your ancestors, like protect from evil, wickedness, all of that. I got y'all.
Well, out with this, Taco Spiritual says he do look ugly now. I guess now that the blinders have been taken off, he ain't as attractive as he tends to be. I was not sure, but I've been doing that healing work, stepping into my purpose fully. Well, God bless you.
I say congratulations to you for discarding the narcissist.
Well, I tell you this Conjure Queen was an eye opener for me. So believe me, some of the things that that's interesting. Okay. Listen, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
I gotta have you back at some point so we can do a part 2.
I'm always
happy to do this. But for those who want to get it live, raw, and from the Queen herself, go to her website, IamConjureQueen.com, or I Am Conjure Queen on YouTube. Would that be correct, my dear?
Yes, that is correct.
Love you much, hon. Thank you so much. This was great. This was great. This was great. You take good care. All righty.
Peace, family. Bye.
Peace. So, everybody, I do want to thank you very, very much. Please make sure you visit Conjure Queen. And for those of you, because I've heard so many of these things, some of it I would dismiss because of my lack of really understanding. And so I didn't knock the person, I just didn't understand. So I think what Conjure Queen has done is really give some clarity and some legs to these things that I thought maybe was just people's imagination or superstition. But as you see, it can be very real. So there you have her. That's spiritual advisor, healer, and she's a whole lot more. She's a great, great sister too. And you go to her IG, I Am Conjure Queen, and her website, her YouTube is also called I Am Conjure Queen. Her website is called IamConjureQueen.com, and her Cash App is $ Conjure Queen. Conjure Queen, excuse me. Okay. So everybody, I do want to thank you. I do want to thank my sponsors before I go. There is something going on this evening at 8:30. I do want to make you aware of. Okay. Again, I need to thank, whoops, let me get this off the screen a second. Banner. Okay. I want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn for sponsoring the show. They're now getting over 50 years in business. Also, Uchenna in Trinidad Tobago, who developed this wonderful product. You go to livetstore.com, livetstore.com to order your products. The juices are absolutely good. And when you put the chill on them, it's just amazing. Also, Manifest on Purpose, who is has a show every Monday and Wednesday. Also, Weekly Wisdom on Thursday. Then she has a show on Sunday. Sometime it all depends. But also my sponsor is Jazz Aphrodite, who is having an Cardology Institute that starts on Tuesday, the 25th of March. It's going to be a 6 weeks, so I know it's going to be great. And again, I do, in closing, say God bless Roberta Flacco. All of us got to leave here. You know what I'm saying? But the way she was treated and the respect she was given today was really, really tremendous. I do thank her. At the 8:30 hour, I do want you to tune in to YouTube. Is Analytics. You go to YouTube and type in Analytics. That's NUMERALLYTICS. It's going to start it soon. In fact, Queen B has been a guest on our show. Grace, who's traveled the world using numerology, has been a great guest on my show. And so it's by Queen B, but her channel is Numeralytics, NUMERALYTICS. Okay, Numeralytics. Okay, good. So also, by the way, for those of you who would like to get my monthly newsletter, it is out. All you got to do is absolutely free. We don't sell your email list. I am plugging only some of my events only. I don't give my list to anybody. But if you don't want to read it, you can listen to it by going to Numbers in You and going to Kimberly, KIMBALEY _ And next week, I will be giving another the third in the Power Series on precious metals. I'm going to have in Kira talking about the precious metals of gold and silver and things of that nature. All right. So everybody, I want to thank you. This Wednesday, I'm going to have another dynamic guest. Her name is Kendall Cobb. She is a hypnotist. Okay. And she's a beautiful lady out of Canada. All right. So everybody, I do want to thank you. And I got to thank my beautiful Conjure Queen, who is a wonderful guest that pulled my coat to a whole lot of things going on. Not that I ain't gonna trust nobody, but you got to keep your eyes and ears open. That's what she's saying, okay? So y'all, y'all just make sure y'all pay attention, especially when you call yourselves in relationships. That's so interesting, man. So many things you got to learn. All right, so everybody, I do want to thank you very much. See you on Wednesday. Have a nice day until then.